Hi, my name is Stephen Nash. I am presenting over Module 5. That's Chapter 37, Common Threads in Theory. This module really encompasses communication on all of its different levels, different breakdowns, different communication, different theories, different thought processes, different approaches, things along those lines. Specifically, I will be focusing on shared meaning, narrative, and conflict from Chapter 37. I'm in sales, so a lot of times my communication process or the way I communicate is going to be broken down in different standpoints, different ways, who I talk to, when I talk to them, the way I talk to them, depending on how long I've known them, things along those lines. And so the three I'm going to focus on, like I said, are shared meaning, narrative, and conflict. First would be shared meaning. At the beginning of the chapter, or the beginning of the section, it says, our communication is successful to the extent that we share a common interpretation of the signs we use. Me, especially in sales, the verbal and nonverbal signs, what I'm trying to communicate, are the signs I'm using. For instance, let's say I'm talking to a builder or a homeowner. I'm going to talk to them in two different ways. So I'm going to communicate, or the interpretation that I want them to get. One would be, with the builder, would be knowledgeable. So I'm going to use technical terms. I'm going to use specific pumps, DE, V60, IntelliFlow, VS, things along those lines, gallons per minute, hydraulics, water pressure, things along those lines, so that they understand my communication clearly. With a homeowner, I'm not going to use those terms. I'm just going to say pump, or I'm going to say pool tile. I'm not going to use a specific type of tile, or the coping of the stone that goes along your ledge of your pool, not I would say coping, or a certain millimeter coping with a builder. Next would be in the aspect, or in shared meaning, is Barther's semiotics regards to the mass media as powerful ideological tools that frame interpretation of events. They mold, they show you what they want you to see, and in doing so, they're customizing your interpretation or their interpretation to how they want you to see it. And words are what we want them to mean. Just making sure that the way you say something, or what you say, is coming across clearly, so that it's not confusing, and they do understand what you're saying and not taking it the wrong way. Narrative. We respond favorably to stories and dramatic imagery in which we can identify. Me in sales, when I want to sell somebody on something, a lot of times I'll use a story and compare it to another builder, and say, I see what you're saying, but I had a builder from so-and-so city, or so-and-so builder, and when they tried this, and this happened. So I'm painting a picture, I'm telling them a story that they can relate to, so that it resonates with them. Cultivation theory and how TV has influenced our narrative is kind of going back to mass media. But let's say mass media shows a video of something, and it kind of sits in your head, and then you see a TV show that brings that story, or that mass media, to life and to detail, and you can see it and how it unfolds, and it relates to it. It's kind of using the same situation, the same media. I think one thing that in communication they want you to do, as far as to break down the understanding of communication, the understanding of what you see and hear in that type of communication, is filter what you're seeing through your values, goodness, and through your own integrity, and take in what you hear in that way, kind of filter it. Now with conflict, my second point to jump to it is brothers being brothers. Conflict isn't always bad. Conflict can help actually make a relationship stronger, or going on further communication stronger. It says unjust communication stifles needed conflict. Healthy communication can make conflict productive, and that's what that means, is just using that communication, using that conflict in a good way. So in conclusion, my focus from Chapter 37 is in 3 steps, and they go in order. You need to understand who you're talking to and consider what they are understanding or meaning are. Use stories for description, or paint a picture. Conflict is not always a bad thing. Just make sure it doesn't go too deep. Thank you.